Now we live, baby.
I don't have a go live button.
You have to be logged into like to the account, to your account.
I thought I was.
I don't know.
Oh, it's over here on the upper right. It says end stream. I can fucking end the whole bitch right now too, can't I? Huh? I don't know. Maybe that's the go live. Hi, everybody.
What's up?
I mean, we got people in here, but it says 0. Why is that? Why is it that like it doesn't say how many people we really have watching us?
It updates slowly, I think.
Let's see. Let's see. Well, shit. So I guess Steve will be a little late. He's got stuff.
Oh man, always. There's always something going on.
Fucking A, man. A lot to do. So I guess our subject is getting sponsored, but I also like to just kind of give everybody an update what's going on in our worlds that we can share, right?
Yeah.
I fucking worked myself to fucking oblivion last week. I did like 5 days in a row where I was like 15 hours plus busting my ass. And then like Thursday night I had a little bit of a headache, and then I got a decent night's sleep, and Friday I busted my ass all day long, and then Saturday middle of the night I had like a nauseating migraine headache, and it fucked me up for pretty much all day of Saturday and most of Sunday. I was dragging my ass. I got in here and I worked, but I felt so shitty on Sunday. I got kind of lightheaded in the morning, and I was like, fuck, man. I was like, hey, babe, will you just drive me to the shop and then pick me up later? She was like, okay. I was like, I got a little lightheaded sitting here, but I don't want to just sit here and be mopey. I can be at the shop and be mopey and get shit done. So there's Steve. Hi, Steve.
What's up, boys?
Yeah. So, but yeah. But I got some shit done, and we put up the new sign the last couple of days, and we had to fucking pull the old sign down, and then we had to paint the fucking wall behind it, because when they painted the fucking building, they didn't paint behind the fucking sign. And then so we had to fix that shit and then do it again. But yeah, and remember that fucking Gately Shield thing that I was doing over last week again? I'm doing it again. Because I figured out another fucking even better way to fucking do it. And it's like this front center piece of the fucking grill that is like at face fucking level, and people be walking up, sticking their fingers in it and shit. And like the previous one before, like, I don't know what happened to it. It took an impact or something. That thing was fucking titties, man. So I gotta beat that by a noticeable, like, oh wow, you replaced that. It looks even better. That's what it has to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a cool fucking shirt, Steve. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's got so on this side, wait, God, this is hard to do. Let me look at it. On this side is Raphael Capone's Hummer.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm fucking retarded. And then over here is Greg Corbin's monster truck.
Oh, that's dope.
And then Vegas.
Yeah. From like the first year or something, like
2022.
22. Yeah, okay. Very cool.
Yeah, so that one dude from Mexico, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. You may. Carlos, can't remember his last name. I think it's Rodriguez, to be honest, but not that Carlos Rodriguez. He owns a print shop in Mexico, does cut and sew, and does all kinds of shit. But every year he's a big bass head. He's one of the top DV drag competitors in Mexico, and he comes to the showdown every year. Him and a little group of people from Mexico.
Yeah.
You may have seen they bring those little tiny cars.
Like yourselves and shit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And and every time he comes up, he makes like 10, 20 of these shirts and brings me a couple and sells a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give me his fucking contact information. Maybe we can make us some fucking fancy shirts for like, we can make a fucking Soulgasm shirt, and a fucking goddamn Slam Halen shirt, and a, shit like that. Raiden.
Well, I can do all that.
What's
I
that?
can do
You
all.
can do all that shit? Okay.
I can do all over print stuff just like this.
Okay.
It just depends, like if you want the design done or if you have a design.
Yeah.
Obviously,
No, we would do the design probably, you know.
yeah. And then
But yeah.
it's literally just it's pretty easy. I mean, it's all.
I'm gonna need that all sponsored though.
Okay, that's fine.
Since that's our show. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. You should do that for me for free, or I'm gonna fucking trash your brand on the internet every chance I get.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to a show with my sticker on my car for you.
For my,
know,
I'll tell all
Everybody
I'll
know.
tell all my
Tell
friends,
everybody.
bro.
And then if you don't, I'm also gonna tell my friends your shit sucks.
Yeah,
dude.
fuck shit
Fuck you.
sucks.
You gonna sponsor me?
Yeah, so what's up?
It's fucking wild. Yeah, that was.
That is some wild ass shit, man.
I saw that a post by Rusty last week,
Yeah,
and I brought it up in our group chat that we should talk about it because Drew and I are both pretty much fully sponsored, and it's a super rare thing in car audio now. It's not like it used to be.
I didn't know that it ever was really a thing.
It was like in the early 2000s, late 90s. You can get full sponsorships, but it's
Really?
much more difficult now, and for different reasons. Like before, it was you were getting sponsored to be in the lanes, not demo rigs. You know,
Right.
so it's a little different monster now. But I know what I had to do to get to where I am to get sponsored, and it took a lot of fucking money and a lot of work, networking, and promoting, and being in a certain position, all kinds of things. Like,
But there's also a lot of people call sponsorships, different things. Kind of like define fully sponsored. We don't pay for anything. That's about as straightforward as you can be about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people call it sponsorships. Some people will say, "Oh, I'm sponsored because I got a 10% discount," which is a discount's a discount. I'm all for it. But people can call it different things. But with being sponsored, also brings a whole new level of responsibility to making sure the shit gets done, because you're effectively being paid to do it. So it's got to get done.
Yeah, I mean, like, instead of the company putting out $50,000 in labor costs and vehicle and everything else to build something, and then plus the cost of taking it around, they could get someone like Drew or I. This is for even other companies out there that are smaller that are thinking about sponsoring someone. Like, think about the cost it would cost you as the company to build the vehicle, buy the vehicle, build the vehicle, tow it around the country, so on and so forth. Yes, you get to have it at all your shows and all that, but if you have somebody really reputable that is going to get the job done and is going to take it to shows and represent the brand well, and it saves you the cost of travel and building the vehicle, it's worth it for some companies, in my opinion. I mean, Bobby, you own a business, so you can speak on being the sponsor versus.
But here's the thing: is building those vehicles is what like our bread and butter is. So if I sponsored one of these builds, I'd be shitting all over all the people that pay me full price.
Let's say you weren't a builder, you just own Gately Audio, the audio company.
Yeah.
Well, and if you look at it that way.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it costs a lot of money to build something like the Explorer and to move it around the country.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. And I mean, like I worked out some stuff, and and what we did with your sponsorship was like, I'm like, here, you can borrow this. You can borrow the subs, you can borrow the amps, and when you're done with them, you just give them back. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of sponsorship, but it's also kind of like my homie let me borrow some subs and amps. He just happens to be named Bobby Gately, and they're all Gately Audio subs and amps, and so there's that, right? But
which I also think is a good way to get into sponsoring people if you're a business or a company.
Right. You go, here's the deal. Like the guys, what's really crazy is you see these guys work out something where they get some form of sponsorship. They pay a big discount, or they get the gear, even they get it without paying for it, but then they're supposed to like give it back or pay for it at the end of the line. But
or do certain things to earn it or whatever, right? Yeah.
So real quick here, Lambert, everybody that has me build everything, they pay for all of their shit 100% of the time. Nobody gets any significant discount on anything really at all, unless they're doing something to be involved. Byron helps out with his build a whole bunch. He also helps out with my business a whole bunch. So some of the work that we do on the Soulgasm, I kind of just do it because, some of the, it's kind of you break, you buy kind of things because I'm borrowing his truck, but everybody fucking pays. So there's no sponsored by Gately. I want to make sure that, like, I was worried about that as a subject of, because we're talking about it, that I'm going to get fucking emails and phone calls that are like, hey, bro, sponsor me. And I know some of you guys are going to think it's like super duper funny to send me that extra email. And I'm going to be like, okay,
It's not funny.
but moving on, just so everybody knows, Gately doesn't sponsor shit because this is what we do to make our money. So if I stopped making money to do the thing that I do to make money, that'd be fucking super dumb. So
it would be like for you, because you're not trying to promote your business more. It doesn't make sense for you to give anything away, right? But if you were trying to, let's say,
well,
I don't know, you open the new side of your shop that caters specifically to side by sides. Maybe you'd go find a dude
I find some guy that's got a really bitchin' sound system, and I go, hey, let me swap out all the shit in there for all of my stuff, or like
exactly.
Really good,
let me build you some shit.
I mean, I kind of hooked you, but you still paid me pretty much full price for that box. I just,
Who are you talking about?
We took care of you, Casey. We did, but like you still paid me like I think it was $2,800 for your box. It was still a very expensive box.
It just feels cheap because it's so hot. That box is so hot. That feels like that's too cheap. Casey, you owe this man another $1,000. Number one, because you got $87,000 worth of subwoofers in there.
Well, and I also gave Casey an art piece that I made at one point. And he was here and he was like, what's that? That's fucking beautiful. And I was like, dude, that's fucking yours, actually. I made that for you. He was like,
that's crazy, bro. That's yours.
Like, I made it for whoever walked in the door and saw it and thought it was bitching. I wanted to make sure I gave it to them. And it was Casey was the first one. So, but yeah, and I guess Michael Moore, his daughter Bella, I sponsored that by giving them a really good deal on the subs and the amplifier, and we cut the acrylic baffle assembly for them. But Michael also received all of our vehicles for Slamology, and then cleaned them all up and got them ready for Slamology, and then when we delivered them all back to his house, and then he managed them all being picked up for us. So whatever hundreds of dollars of I hooked him up.
So getting the vehicles cleaned for Slam, bro, that's worth so
Dude, he's awesome.
So much.
They're cleaning up the inside of the fucking Slam Halen and shit, and Michael Moore is the homie. We're actually gonna make some upgrades to Bella's little Beats and Treats rig. We're going to put 2 more 6.5s in that wall in that thing. So I need to cut a new baffle for that. I need to conjure up the piece of acrylic to do that and get it done. So, but yeah, but I mean, really though, for sure, I would never anybody that I'm ever going to hook up a little bit or sponsor a little bit. I've never really said they're sponsored, right? It's always like, hey, I'd love to help you out with that project. If there's something we can do to be involved.
Yeah,
and that's
kind of what you've been
100% of the time, and I'd say almost 100%, like 99% of the time, anybody is ever sponsored in car audio, in remote control car racing, all of these things that I've seen in jiu-jitsu stuff. It never happens by somebody sending a fucking email and saying, "Hey, man, will you sponsor me?" I've never seen that shit.
Sponsor me, or I'm telling everybody you're garbage.
You suck. I mean, yeah.
What's
crazy is I gotta fucking say this, right? Is what I keep on seeing. What I keep on seeing is that people respond to people talking shit way more than they do people saying anything positive. Look at Facebook right now. Jump on there and look at the fucking car audio related posts, and you will see like somebody will be like, "Fucking Rusty and Justin at DC are the best. I fucking love those guys. They're awesome." You'll see 24 people like that shit, and it'll be me and John Raby and Jacob Fuller and fucking JP and fucking Drew and all of us people that are actually doing shit. All of us will like it. Sometimes we'll be like, "Yeah, that was a great fucking deal. Maybe we're part of it or something somewhere," right? You see somebody fucking talking shit, you'll see 3 comments on that and fucking 24 likes. Fucking, you see somebody's like, "Fucking Gately's a dick and he's a terrible person and somebody left a gloppa stain and glue in the fucking box." There'll be fucking 400 comments, 250 likes. You know what else is going on at the same time? My fucking website is banging. Be fucking 30, 40 fucking people on my site. Boxes are selling. People are buying.
Because you have all the people defending
shit. I'm like, goddamn, I don't know, man. These guys talking shit seem to pay me really, really fucking well. I don't quite understand it. I've had people literally tell me, "Hey, man, there was some guys talking shit in the I Just Want to Bang group. I read through most of the shit, and I was like, wow."
Sheesh.
What is it?
Wait.
It's a piece of acrylic with some resin and some metal flake, multi-layered. So,
boy, that is art. That is what's crazy is this looks better than some of those $1 million art pieces you see online. This is at least $1 billion art piece. If you put it in some contemporary museum, this is $1 billion.
Yeah, maybe more. Shit, trillion.
Because some of these art pieces they post is like it's just a blank wall. $1 million.
Oh no! There was pictures of somebody taking a picture of a fucking rubber mallet that somebody left like on the floor in a fucking art place. They're like photographing it, and like somebody walks over there all.
Carpenter's like, "My bad, bro. I didn't mean to leave that
rubber
there."
Mallet I left here.
Oh, sweet! It's still here. Awesome. It's a Snap-on. I think super expensive.
Yeah, in my like cluster fucking doing things, I accidentally sent Jason an extra amp. He said he spent fucking 2.5 hours trying to figure out where in the audio system layout design that amp went. He was like, "Man, I looked over." He
should have sent you a bill because his build is so complex.
We talked about it a whole bunch because he was like, "Man, I went through and I read all of our message and I went through and I read all of the invoice shit that we discussed. I've talked to fucking what's his name, John from is it Rogue Audio? Am I saying it right? Am I fucking the whole thing up? Yep. Anyway, with the guy from Rogue, he was like, "Man, and I finally decided you must have accidentally sent me an extra amp. I knew I only paid for fucking for the Indie label. You just sent it back." He's like, "Okay, I'm all thank you, buddy. I appreciate it." I was like, "I would have never thought of shit. I just packed them all up, fucking shipped, and there they go." So anyway, that was funny.
Yep. But
so
you don't need to fuck. I've been a fucking bigger dickhead to you than most people, Steve. So like if somebody's like, "Bobby's dick," you're like, "That's absolutely right. He's also pretty cool. He's kind of smart. He makes some really bitchin' speaker boxes. You should buy one." That's what I want you to say. Don't be beating anybody up.
Rebuild W7s to be better than JL built them, Bobby. Can you? Because Patrick Chandler can.
Oh,
the Jizz Llamas.
He also says that fucking that Jacob designed my subwoofers, which I mean, I would have loved.
Scotty paid for them, and Down for Sound sells them.
Is that right? Down for Sound sells my subs.
That's what Patrick Chandler said, bud.
God damn, that dude must smoke hella meth. Now,
dude, that video.
First thing I'm gonna say is, I really wish Jacob would help me with my sub design. Not that there's anything lacking,
but Jacob's just a beast.
At least he might go, "Yeah, dude, don't change a fucking thing." But then again, he might go, "Yep, if you do this, it'd be a little better." And I would fucking do it because I'm not a dummy. And if somebody that is the best subwoofer engineer I know of on the fucking
according to the MB dude, he's not an engineer. He said he's not no audio engineer.
So
you guys watch the video?
We wouldn't bring up.
I can't watch those videos.
But last week he made a video directly about Bobby. So
what's that?
And Jacob and all kinds of people.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah, he said like Jacob Fuller's not an audio designer or not an audio engineer.
We know. Yeah.
What
He
the
said
fuck
Jacob's
is-
not an engineer. He makes bad subs or something. I'm like, brother.
Dude,
No,
I'm trying to find the video
the
that he
paperclip.
posted.
Don't fucking show me the video. I'm good.
No, not that one. There was another one about
There's a new
all this
one?
drama, like the second half of our title, the B2 big joke MB drama. Like, I don't know. Did
Oh.
you see the video he posted talking about Sky High and all kinds of people?
No, I have not seen the you talking about MB or
Yeah, MB.
I saw a preview. I saw someone posted a clip of it, but I haven't seen.
He
I
talks
barely
about
kept up
how
with
Big
the whole
Jeff
talk.
is a big distributor now of B2, and John Robbie from Sky High owes B2 a bunch of money and hasn't paid them or won't pay them for product and all kinds of fucking shit. So he's just throwing
straight bullshit. That is outright lies. John doesn't owe anybody a fucking penny.
It was pretty wild. I can't find the video. He may have taken it down.
Even if John does owe someone money, maybe he's not paying for a reason.
He doesn't. And he hasn't. Here's the thing: he hasn't purchased any more B2 product because he had a whole bunch of inventory of it and it wasn't fucking selling. He still has massive stacks of B2 shit. It doesn't sell very well. Dealers don't want to fucking sell it. You can't get a matching 4-channel to your fucking sub amps. They don't have half the fucking speakers they used to make. They're all different. Here's different shit. And you're like, let me sort that out. This doesn't fit the same way. And then your fucking markup as a dealer, you're like, it's only 15-20% on the product. That's not a very good markup. And then B2 themselves will have the product on sale for fucking, 3% over what your fucking dealer cost is, if not below it. And it's like, okay, I can't stock this shit anymore. I was one of the fucking premier B2 dealers in the fucking planet. And I sold tons of fucking B2 shit. But I started having fucking big fucking problems with, like, I sell my customer a fucking stack of B2 amps as tall as me, which is not very fucking tall, but for a stack of amplifiers it is. And then immediately those amps are at 10% less than what my customer paid for them. Posted online. And I'm like, hey, you can't undercut your fucking dealers.
So like, this happened to me. I'm not going to say who the company is because the person, the reason it happened is no longer at the company. He's been gone for a long time. So I don't want to say what company it was, but this directly happened to me when I was in a brick and mortar store. And I was like, fuck, this sucks. And they were selling under the table to someone 10 minutes down the street. But like I said, the person's gone from the company. So I'm not going to bring up what company it was. But I was like, damn, that's dusty.
Yeah, any of you guys that are a fucking dealer, just know that I will never fucking undercut my dealers.
Well, I will undercut the shit out of y'all. Y'all want Gately on the deal? What's up? I'm gonna sell 10% over retail. 10% over retail.
No, I don't allow any of my dealers to run fucking sales on my product that I don't authorize.
Yep. Yeah, because why would you put something on sale that you already can't barely keep in stock because people want it so much?
You guys ready?
Let me get some water. I don't think you should broadcast this guy's shit.
No, I want everybody to know what we're fucking talking about since this
this
video.
is just MBE. This isn't the other guy.
Yeah, this is MB right here.
Well, I was talking about earlier a freaking Robot Underground, Patrick Chandler. That's what he thought we were talking about.
The B2 drama bullshit where he spews a bunch of nonsense.
Someone asked me earlier. I don't know anything about it. I know a very rough outline from the post, and then that's kind of it.
And if Scott Dilbeck's in here, he was kind of jumping in there and chatting with them a lot, so he would know more. But it was kind of wasn't hard to find, but once I found it,
bruh. You got me on that one. Well, there's so much wild stuff in car audio, but
it's just weird that people like to really stick their nose where it doesn't belong all the time. It's like, I mean, I don't know.
That's human tendency.
It's the fucking people that'll say lies when they just lie.
Lies or just
man.
Yeah.
completely
All right, you ready, Bob?
wrong.
I want to play. I'll wait till you're over here so you could hear his nonsense.
He's just completely. They're so
I'll
often
wait
wrong.
for you, dildo. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Scott dildo. Yeah, Scott dildo. Oh, dude. Scott dildo.
Oh no! Oh no, Scott! You're going to be fired from the company you don't work for. Oh no! Ugh.
Oh, fucking. All right, let's do this shit.
Be the only one. I'm a distributor for B2 Audio too. But Big Jeff is the big distributor. He ain't gonna be the only one. I'm a distributor for B2 Audio too. But Big Jeff is the big distributor.
I thought it was going to be the whole thing. Motherfucker got me.
Yo.
Okay.
So apparently there's
Did
something
you guys
going
see
around
that link I sent you about OJ's confession?
Jay's confession?
OJ.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now, Drew. Hold on a second.
Apparently there's something people saying
Is
that.
it a link of the black dude with the giant
Dude, I fucking sent that shit to my buddy Josh Deedy, and like 4 seconds later, he sent me back, "Oh my God, what the fuck? God damn it." He's like, "Dude, I fucking was on that." Like, what? Really? Oh.
That's it's a picture of bear on a bed or wood on a bed.
It's that big buff black dude with the fucking wang that's as big as my leg. It's fucking so fucking funny.
You want to know the bad news?
I thought I sent it to both of you guys. I sent it to you, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know the bad news?
Seen it from somebody.
The photo's not real, man.
Yeah.
They actually had to
Sorry
shrink
that
his
you're
thing.
bummed out about that.
They had to shrink his thing to fit on the screen.
No, so I fucking years ago I was kicking back. I was at my buddy's house. I was helping him trim some weed, and I'm sitting there, and I get this text message from my buddy. His name's Kenny Cross, and Kenny's a fucking crazy, funny little dude. He's about my size, and he sends me this picture, and he's like, "Check out my girl's new watch," and it's a picture of a women's watch on a huge dick, and I'm like, "That shit's funny, whatever," and then like. Or no, he had sent that to me like a day or two before that. And then I got this picture. It's like, check out my new watch. And it was a guy holding his, like, looking his watch like this. And in the background of the image coming down like this, you see a big dick on his leg. And so my buddy Josh sent me the fucking, the picture. And he's like, check out this new watch. And it's clearly not my friend Josh. And I'm like, oh my God. I fucking have a picture for him, and I find the Kenny Cross one, and I get it, and I send it back to my buddy Josh. He's like, "How the fuck did you have that on deck to get that back to me?" And said, "I'm like, I don't know. I got it sent to me like 2 days ago from my friend Kenny."
I had that.
And then, like, I'm talking to my buddy Kenny like 3 days later. I was like, "That funny fucking picture of the fucking dick with the watch." And he's like, "Of my girl's watch?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "That's really my girl's watch." And I'm like, "Man, you sent me a picture of your dick, dog." I'm like, "Your dick is a fucking meme now." It's like out there in the fucking. He's "Oh, that's cool." I was like, I didn't know.
So I got a message.
I'm like, bro, you just sent me like if you send a picture of a dick to it's somebody else's dick, that's funny. If you send a picture of your dick to your homeboy, that's fucking kind of weird, buddy. He's like,
Look, bro. It's just weird because you ain't got the schmeat like that.
No, I don't.
If you had the schmeat,
I didn't have, dude. It's like a fucking Pringles can with an apple stuck in the end of it or something.
So I got a DM. Says, have you heard anything about the owner of Pride Audio in Russia being in a Siberian prison?
You know what I'm gonna say?
What?
It's probably not fucking true.
Oh,
the likelihood that that's true. You know what? At the same time, I'll bet thousands of dollars that there's a fucking message stream going around that, you know, Jacob Fuller or Rusty or Bobby Gately or fucking Steve are in a fucking prison in the United States over there.
I am in a prison in the United States. It's called Louisiana.
Yes, you are. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Where
you put that comment up, and I clicked the dildo thing kind of quickly after, but
you clicked the dildo?
Yeah, because he put that up, and I put this up real quick, and I didn't really read it until now I read it. I don't know if this is true or not. Is that fucking true?
I'm pretty sure that is accurate because he absolutely live streamed a standoff with the Arizona police like 4 months ago.
And
Like
Casey is.
And look, if Casey says it, it's true. That's kind of all it is too.
Yeah.
But
my man here is the FBI.
Well, we'll let the justice system do its thing. I don't want to get in any weird situation by saying he did something that he maybe didn't do, but that's fucking wild if he did it. Whoa, that's wild.
No, I'm like not. Yeah, no. So from before Casey says anything, I think it was a customer who wouldn't pay, and he refused to let him leave his house and duct taped him or something. It was wild, bro. It was a situation.
That's weird. I don't know. You say 100% true. Yep. Okay. Well, let's see. What's this? It's about time good eating. An amazing Italian stallion. He's talking about MB on that one.
Or he's talking about
No, because MB, what he did, so when he posted that shit and Scott grilled him about it, Scott went and looked into his business, and I guess it's registered under his wife's salon, UPS,
fair
something.
Enough. Tax reasons.
They don't have a resale license or anything, so he's not a dealer, let alone a distributor for any brands, really.
That's crazy. I'm over here.
I don't be distributed to beat to.
People asking me to be their dealer. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's
your mobile trike tuning business. Sir, I only tune 4-wheelers and side by sides. Sorry, no tricycles yet. I'm not good enough. Jeffrey Hall will remote tune your tricycle though. He told me he would.
There was a dude walking around looking pretty fucking methed out, walking his a really pretty pit bull dog. And he had a boombox kind of with some backpack straps fastened to it. And he was walking down Auburn Boulevard. I don't know if y'all know much about Auburn Boulevard, but a tweaker walking down Auburn Boulevard is not hard to find.
Whoa.
And
I was told directly by someone who I can't say about the pride thing. What did Casey just send me? Lord, let's get back to the sponsorship talk.
But wait, the meth head fucking dude, his boombox sounded really good, but only if he turned his back towards us. So then he came walking over because he saw us standing outside looking, because we're dumb and we did that. But there was music playing outside in my fucking parking lot. So we looked, and it was a fucking tweaker walking a dog, and he came walking over, and it didn't sound so good when he was facing us. But when he turned around and walked away, it sounded pretty good. So I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. But you said tricycle. I thought dude with a backpack boombox was related. But yeah, so sponsorship. What's up with that?
So I know this man's going to jail. This man's going to jail. Federal pound him in the booty jail.
Well, it says dismissed due to grand jury indictment. Dismissed due to what is the grand?
So all those lesser charges were dismissed because the higher grand jury indictment, which would be federal, I suppose.
Was the person that he was kidnapping an adult?
I don't know. I tell you who will know. Casey. Yo, who doesn't want some areola port?
Areola port is the family blood. Gotta have the areola port. Seem to work a little better than the Bobby Gately got a slot port that's shaped like a areola port. Gately shield.
Yeah. All right, so back to sponsoring. Drew.
I actually got speaking of sponsorships, I suppose I got offered one or told I had a full ride available for an SQ build. if I wanted it. And I was like,
Nice.
oh, well. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm kind of out of vehicles, but I suppose I find another. I'm smack out of these things, bro, but I'll find one. But with big sponsorships and like we'll use Kicker for example because they're me and Steve are both actively with them currently. It puts a whole nother level of pressure on your build. Like so, you do a build in 9 days, and you basically kill yourself to make it happen because you got to, right? You don't have to, but they would really appreciate it if you did.
Or the opposite, like me, you do a build in 4 years because you're patiently waiting till they give you product and not representing anyone else and just waiting. And waiting.
Center seat build.
But yeah, I mean, on our level, it's different because we like I said, we put a shit ton of money into our builds to make them, I mean, as crazy as they can be. And then we fork all the cost over and moving them around.
Brother.
All the shit. But on a smaller level, what do you think it takes to be sponsored?
So if we're just going to use like sponsor, we just say a big discount, right? 25%, 50%, something solid. I mean, these days, it's no longer about winning. That doesn't really matter, like in competition to an extent. It's all about, and not just views, because views are kind of easy to get, but views and a generally positive and good reputation along with the views.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the views aren't even, well, in my case, I mean, I don't know. I guess we have a pretty big following on Instagram, but
well, your brand has a very large following.
Yeah, and we post a shit out of Kicker, obviously for a reason, through our
Steve, brother. I've been saying this. Oh man, how many years have I been saying this? 3 or 4. And the first time I brought this up, it might have been on the show. I was crucified. You'd have thought I slapped Alma Gates, bro. People were mad at me. That's not car audio. That's silly.
It's been done, but just not like. Well, it's been done. I mean,
but it hasn't been done like if you were just to peel the skin of your Explorer off your truck and plop that steel box onto a trailer.
Yeah, but it'd be a waste of all that space, and then to build something for all that space is like, I mean. That's where they got them 10 million watt fucking semis that blow your wig off.
In my head, my thought is to build it like Duncan's van. That's kind of about where you want to be, maybe a little bigger. That way you can keep the trailer compact and it doesn't get so heavy it becomes immovable, like the Cube or something like that, right?
You're talking about just building on like
building on the trailer, like
a trailer.
Yeah, like a gooseneck or whatever. Okay. But like, why? Like, I get the car audio thing, but like Duncan's van, and we've had this conversation 100 times now.
Let's go put a shipping container on there and paint some wheels on it.
Yeah. Like Duncan's van goes on and off a trailer, and it barely does that. Like, let's be real here, it barely does that.
Same, yeah.
Why even take it off the trailer?
I mean, sometimes I don't.
Exactly. Yeah. So why
do you see rigs like that not come off a trailer? And
why
it's a subject that comes up. Me, John Raby, and Andrew Showers, we would talk about what we would call the unit. We talked about doing like a 20-foot fucking freight container on a trailer that, like, you put on one of them like fucking parachute outfits and fucking it floats you in the fucking door of that motherfucker.
Yeah, so the XRV is really close to what we're talking about, but 20 times louder.
Yeah.
Like Duncan's van, just not wrapped in a van.
What is it?
The Kicker big rig. They've got the room with like 12 15s in it in the front of it.
The room the boom room, or
yeah, so like that, but bigger.
Yeah.
And you can run off of a 50 kilowatt
with all solo X's instead, and put a fucking goddamn 6K on each sub. and build that motherfucker, reinforce that shit. You get in, you're holding on to fucking braid. You're like, oh shit, here we go. You're fucking biting down on
how
a fucking,
cool would that shit be, though?
you got a mouthpiece in, and you're like,
because at that point, it's not even like these big builds, they're loud, but a lot of people don't really want to hear loud. They just want wind and energy. And that's one thing about these really big builds. Like, I mean, Steve's is even going to be the same way. It's so much energy from so much moving cone area. It's like, damn. Or like the I Just Want to Bang bus. Was it 4815s or something goofy? It peaks at 11 hertz. It's not loud. Like, it's not going to be loud, but it's so much energy. You're just like, bro, that's crazy. Now imagine that, but not flexing because you did a 1/2-inch steel box around it.
Yeah. Or like whatever John Nolte's coming up with sounds like it's gonna kind of be like that. But
well,
you said he found another vehicle, right?
He found another vehicle that's fucking sick as fuck. And him and I were talking about it, and he was like, maybe I put an LS in it. I'm all, no. You take that whole drivetrain from that other fucking truck that runs perfect, and you put that shit in that old 68 fucking frame, and boom, you got what you want. And he was like, oh my God. I'm almost like, let's do it.
So he's gonna keep the bread truck and swap over the drivetrain?
Swap over the fucking the like drivetrain possibly. I mean, that's the idea that we had recently, but you know,
the matter.
And in the meantime,
I know that like that's what he really wants to do is that bread truck. Like I know he wants to build something big like that. To get him in a normal vehicle seems.
Well,
like
he has that expedition that we want to put 418s in one of his crazy labyrinth boxes. So
yeah.
Later, Steve Santos.
Bro, he was sending me some videos of the response of one of those boxes. Those things are crazy.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
So you want to be sponsored, right? Number one, as sucky as it sounds, you got to spend some money. That's just kind of all there is to it. You got to spend some money, got to build some stuff. And it doesn't have to be. This is one part that does kind of suck. So, like, to get a lot of attention, you got to build an either over the top loudness, right? In some way, or super beautiful and loud. Because like
it takes a long time. Like people think they're just going to build something and jump right into being.
There's also that,
noticed. I mean,
you have to build a reputation of building things and being out there. Because like that's one reason a lot of companies quit sponsoring folks was they'd give away equipment, they'd give away discounts or whatever, and then they just never show up.
Yeah,
the builds never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Which, man, to be fair, is shit happens, right? But when shit happens over and over, companies are like, all right, well, damn, we're 20 grand into giving people shit, and all we got so far is a high five and 2 Twitter posts.
Yeah, I think the best avenue to go for people who are really serious about wanting to get sponsored and being in-car audio is if you find a brand you really like and you're down with that brand, find out how to get on the team and find out what it takes to be on their team. Do those things, get on their team, and that's a good starting point. And just keep repping, and it'll get better and better. The more and more you do,
the more the leadership will see it.
Yeah,
that's
just like anything else. Yeah, it's jumping into something, and you either got to have money or you got to put in the time. It's one or the other. So
I had a guy reach out to me. It was probably about a year ago, maybe just over a year ago. This guy reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, I own this shop. I'm interested in your product, and and I have this big fucking badass build I'd like to use it in." And I was like, "Awesome. We can, I can help you to get set up as a dealer. And if you have any advice or anything, you need help with the product, let me know." And he was like, "Yeah, well, I actually am already set up and I'm signed up with Sky High, and I've already done a little bit with your product, and it worked really good. It works nice, fits nice, everything's cool." And I'm like, "Okay, well, fucking buy that shit and put it in your build."
Well, buy that shit. Thanks, bud.
Yeah. And then I was like, and he's like, "Well, for my build, what can you do?" And I was like, well, I mean,
I can
if you're
ship it a
using my
little faster.
subwoofers and shit, I'll help you engineer the box. You know, I'll help out a little bit with, I mean, you know, if you ever buy any of my subwoofers, I'll help with your box design. Like, you know, always. It's like, I don't offer enclosure designs, but I definitely will support my own product really well. So if you have my subs and you need a box design, now I'm not going to give you a fucking cut sheet and a crazy ass rendering. I'm going to give you recommended port information and volume, and you're going to have to sort that shit out. And if you want to transmit that data over to Drew or your other reputable box builder person, you're welcome to do that shit. But anyway, so
Bobby, before you continue, before you keep going, if someone's signs up through Sky High to be a dealer, are your products available to buy as a dealer, or yours not?
They are our primary distributor, and
So
we have more
easily,
markup on our product than anything else available, as far as I know.
So he could have just went on Sky High and bought Gately
just
stuff
bought the shit at his dealer. I was like looking it up. He has a real shop. There's this real shop. Okay, cool. This is good to know. You know,
so he's already going to get it at a discount, but he was already going
to get dealer cost on it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, shit, if you're buying a stack of it and along with a stocking order, you get distributor pricing on it, which is a fucking huge fucking, you know, discount. If you're gonna bring in a bunch of boxes, a bunch of amps, a bunch of subs, a bunch of fucking mids, all the things that we make. And he was like, yeah, but like I need like for my build. And I'm like, you're already getting a fucking great price, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't do that. And he's like, okay, well, you know, these guys will do this and those guys will do that, but I'd rather use yours. I'm like, cool, then pay the difference. I'm not doing that shit. Like here's the thing. And probably the worst thing about sponsoring people is that a lot of people that are sponsored, they almost brag about it a little bit to a point where people seem to think that that's the way it can be. And so somebody going, yeah, man, you should buy this product because it's awesome. They gave me my shit. And it's like, wow, way to take the whole entire fucking value out of that product. You know, like, and then all of a sudden the other guy's like, shit, my build is as cool as that. Oh, something fucked up. You're fucking wild. It was all I know. It's unable to do the thing.
So the base station's like 120 feet away and through 4 walls.
Nice.
So, I mean, the fact that it's connecting at all is kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
Doing measurement stuff.
So
I need to hit him up and figure some shit out.
No, you're right, Bobby. It's like
not about that.
Okay. It's like as they're trying to pitch the value of Sundown, right? They're like, oh man, you need to get Sundown. They gave me my shit. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't just buy it? Like, it must not be that good if they had to give it to you for you to run it.
Well, depends on.
Yeah. Well, if that's their main pitch is they gave it to me.
Yeah. If they're not presenting it correctly, you know what I mean? Like, but a lot of people are like super duper proud about the fucking deal that somebody fucking that they got. They're stoked about it. Like when
which is great.
You know, okay. And they go, you know, this company, you know, Kicker helped me out with my build because I fucking busted my ass on the previous version of this build. And I'm building the whole thing over again with all the working knowledge and all the shit that I've already done. And I'm going to build this thing again with all their brand new super duper fucking products. And it's going to be fucking amazing. And you're already partnering with them with your shows. You already do so much with Kicker and you're already in communication with them so much that it's like a fucking no-brainer. Why? This is our guy that we talk to all the time and we work with all the time. And he's going to have this incredible build and he's going to continue to do what he's been doing for years and years and years. So
before Kicker ever offered me a thing, I was already like, man, like these new subs are great. Like before I'd even touch, like I knew they were coming. I knew some information about them. I wasn't told I was getting a thing. I wasn't told nothing. I was like, man, like this stuff is really good. This company is really great. Like supporting them before even being offered anything. And people have been calling me a sundown nut hugger for at least a decade, maybe longer. And you know how many free things I've got from Sundown in my life?
Smart nuts.
You know how many free things Jacob Fuller's given me in my life? Well, he gave me a hard time once. Great.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm gonna give credit where credit's due on like the kicker thing. Like I got involved with kicker through JY. When JY decided to build the cube and get involved with kicker on it, and that happened through Huey. His dad used to work for Steve Irby way back, like when kicker had just started. So they've been friends forever. And then Huey being in car audio, like, let's build something crazy and let's get kicker back, like in our basehead world. Because I mean, way before the cube, obviously there was many other builds with, Huey in them. So I was involved with doing some stuff on the cube, and that relationship started through that. I met Kip and a bunch of the kicker guys just 1 year at like, I don't even know. It must have been like 2016 or 2017 because of the cube, and just developed a really good relationship with Kip and started getting him to sponsor the shows. And yeah, and then just like Bobby said.
Companies have to see a return on their investment. That's how all companies see all sponsorships, all hookups, all of it. If a company is giving you something, a discount, a hookup, a koozie, it doesn't really matter. They're like, look, what is this gonna be? What is this gonna get us?
Yeah. Yes, and also like I feel sometimes some companies have, I don't want to say have their head in their ass, but they like step over dollars to pick up pennies when there might be somebody who's totally worth giving stuff to, and they're like, it's $8,000 in equipment. Like, yeah, that's retail, and it probably cost you $2,000. Let's just say $2,500.
Well, yeah, depending on the. Yeah,
you have to have a marketing budget of some sort if you're actually going to do something. So like take some money out of a little bit of budget here, a little bit there. If this person's actually going to make it for you, somebody who's going to be like basically the face of your shit, it's worth it. Some companies don't do that at all. They just look at the number of how much money they're sending you versus, how much it costs them and how much would it cost them to actually gain what you're going to give them. It's not the cost of the equipment. It's probably more than the cost it cost you for the equipment, but not the retail cost. You know what I mean? Like you're getting more than $2,000 worth of stuff, even though you're giving them $8,000 worth of shit.
Yeah. Mark, no. So Russ bought a bunch of amps and got a discount because he bought a bunch of them. But other than that, no, there was no sponsorship with that. And so here's a point that Casey brings up because he be on my ass on some of them kicker posts. He'd be on my ass, and I'll be honest, like it does feel a little disrespectful that because I openly say whenever companies who do give me things make a bad product, like the SFBs were kind of a shit product. They're very sensitive. We know that. A lot of the JP amps are not the cleanest things in the world. They're cheap. It is what it is. But if a product's good, and I say it's good, motherfucker, good. That's just all it is, or I won't use it. You know what I mean? I don't. If something isn't good,
most people are going to see that
time to deal with it. That's just how it is. Our time is worth more than 6 free subs.
Well, we've also been the kicker, all three of us, and we know what they're doing over there. So it's like almost impossible for them to let anything out of their doors that isn't a quality product, even if it's inexpensive. It's still
because if a bad product goes out of a company that big, when their minimum order quantity from their manufacturers 20,000, 100,000, 10% failure rate is it's like people are fired. Multiple people are fired and not coming back. And I know it's not meant to be disrespectful, but so prime example of this though, just that, and I can't share what exactly was happening, but I was kind of complaining about fitting something into the wagon, right? I'm like, man, this is going to be a pain in the ass. And they're like, oh, man, it was a joke. They were mean and joking, but yo, you're going to have so much power that we're sending you, and you're complaining. I'm standing in my storage unit. I send a video of minimum 400,000 watts of other brands. I'm like, bro, like, I don't need it. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but like, I have all the amps I want. So if I'm using it, it's because I think it's good. They're not. They're not telling me to say it's good.
No, here's the thing is if
it's a partnership at this point for me.
It's a partnership. If you're gonna compromise your integrity and the quality of your build and put some inferior shit in it because somebody gave it to you for free, you're not gonna have a good time. You're gonna be fucking bummed out. Like I'd rather pay full price for the best thing that I would love to have than get something that's just a little bit not as good for free, because I'm gonna still be disappointed.
And I don't have time for that. That's all that is. You know how many companies I've wanted to put full systems in my Tahoe? Bro, a lot. Basically, every pop-up company in the last 6 years has been like, we'll give you everything you want for it. No, thank you. I'd rather.
Wild. I would not fucking do that at all. I
mean,
it would. Let's say hypothetically, somebody had a pretty large scale build. They had, four 15s. They needed fucking 4 of our, relentless fucking 15s. Those are fucking $1,600 each subwoofers. Just 2 of our 7100s. Fucking, that's like all I have. Fucking goddamn 9 of those things are going in that fucking truck over there. They all got paid for, but those are $1,900 each. A bunch, a couple 4 channels, $900 each. All of a sudden, they're getting 10% plus of what I make in a fucking year running this business. I'm like, no, fucking no, fuck no. I'll buy more tools. We really, really thought about buying like a $13,000 fucking super badass scanning tool. We were like ready to pull the trigger yesterday, but I did a little more research. We're playing with some new software. We've had some amazing results, and we're like, we're good with our little $1,000 fucking scanner for quite a bit longer until we know that scanner is the weak link. We realized it was the software, so now we spent a couple bucks on some software, and we're fucking killing it,
bro.
Yeah. No, I mean, Bobby, in your case, it's different because
I don't know about everybody, but probably everybody I kick it with.
No, I mean, in your case, Bobby, you were Gately Audio, the enclosure builder shop, all that stuff before you were an audio brand. But if you're a pop-up audio brand, let's just take Ruthless, for example. They're not a pop-up, but they're new.
We'll circle back to this case. I started.
Their bread and butter is getting amps to people to buy amps.
Right,
so for them, it makes sense. Like, am I going to spend money on advertising or give some amps to someone like maybe Brett Baldwin and then build a Hurst? And this, I'm not saying Brett got his stuff for free, but
he definitely paid for his amps. But he sponsors shows, and he'll give some amps away that get raffled off. And he's heavy into the competition group of people. He definitely, I'm like 99% sure he isn't giving away any fucking amps other than ones that went in raffles. And that's how he paid for his events. But then he's definitely got a whole fucking team Ruthless guys that get a pretty good deal on his products. So
yeah, I mean, and for amps, it's maybe a little different. I think I don't know. You could tell me amps are more expensive to get than subs. Is it or not?
No, amps are more expensive than subs.
Right.
Per retail, typically.
So if you're a sub company and like you were to give away, I don't know, 6 15s for a build versus 4 6Ks, I mean, the cost difference is substantial, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, where are the subs built? If they're built overseas, they're for sure less. If they're built in fucking Nevada or California, they're fucking
or
expensive as well.
Tennessee or Alabama. I'm trying to think where the other OEM was. Like, oh, fucking Alabama.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen this go completely the wrong way for companies too, who choose the wrong people to sponsor.
Yep.
Like, take like Orion for instance.
Yep.
They chose a bunch of people who were like,
boy, look who it is.
on a sketch.
Pretty shit himself. Top strong.
That dude's built sick as fuck.
But if y'all haven't seen this man's Tahoe,
he
makes
like
me
video.
so mad every time we're at the same show.
Oh man,
it's been
that shit is beautiful.
It's changed since Slam, right? Didn't they do a bunch of shit? I thought I saw new doors and all kinds of shit.
Got gold plated ZV6s or ZV7s, whatever they are, bro. Gold. Who does that?
Dude, I need to do that.
The first time I saw his gooseneck trailer has edge lit acrylic down the side of it. I was so fucking mad, bro. So mad. Every time me and David at a show, I'm just staring at him like, boy, I'm so mad at you right now. Because it's just God, his truck's nice, trailer's nice, Tahoe's nice. It's that pretty shit, like he says. All right, let's see. We'll circle back a couple comments. Sponsorships in 2024 look more like I'm gonna sell this shit at dealer cost before it's done. The badass builds get done, they just run the card. Some of them do. Some of them got that money like that. Which is if you want to be on a team for a company, that's the easiest way to get on a team these days. Swipe that card. Swipe the card.
Yeah, I mean, like the way I kind of started is my first big build, I should say. I was on Team Fi. I got a discount on my Fi subs, right? And then I made a deal with Twisted Sounds to get a deal on amps. And then when I was ready for an upgrade, I basically sold everything for a little bit more than what I paid for it, which paid for the next upgrade. And it just kept doing that over and over. And basically, I was in for my initial cost, and I just kept upgrading and selling because of the difference of team cost, until eventually, there's kicker. But this is, it took years and years and lots of time and effort and sacrifice and all kinds of shit to get fully sponsored.
What did Casey say? I feel like if you're sponsored by a company that they're giving you free shit. Again, rare, but yes, you shouldn't say anything bad about the company. And so, this is the way that I would go about it. Steve would go about it. I know Bobby would go about it. We're not gonna associate with a company that we don't think is a good moral company, a good people that we have faith in. That's all that is. I saw you said. So you're saying everyone who is sponsored is running what they think is the best equipment available? No, most people just run what they can get, and it is what it is, which is fine. That is a-okay. Well, you will find situations where like I won't take a sponsorship for the Tahoe because Sundown. To me, Jacob Fuller is one of the best high output subwoofer engineers. Him and Murillo they're turning out some of the best sounding shit there is. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel. So that's what Tahoe always stays that. Now, if I do other builds like with Kicker, I think it's good product. So I'm gonna use it. Am I saying that it's better than Sundown? I mean, the Solo X is not gonna beat an SDDN or a fucking Nightshade version 6.
But it's going to be pretty comparable to an X, and you're going to be
XT3, and it has its own big advantages, like the field recone. We watched Carlos recone a subwoofer inside his wall.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, brother. Come on, brother.
I mean, let's be honest, like our community, we're a middle-class community. Like we're trying to save dollars as much as we can while also pouring way more money into our shit than we probably should be. We are the products in our community, the good stuff, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. And a lot of us are making $50,000-$60,000 a year and spending
$50,000-$60,000 a year.
Yeah, it's spending all of it.
70.
I mean, we can take this out wherever we go, man.
At one or Ruthless 8,500 at half.
The 263s is going to make quite a bit more power than a single
I think the
8500.
Ruthless will be
It's also going to cost a shitload more money to have 2 amps versus 1.
Yeah.
You're also going to make 1 amp really work its ass off, or 2 of them kind of have it take it easy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you're not exactly comparing apples. If you said JP 283s versus 285s, then you're
then I'd probably say, but that's probably a
what
large
color
price
do you
difference at
want,
that
or
point.
do you like the way the Ruthless looks more than the JPs? But if I had the amps available and it didn't have a financial impact one way nor the other, I'd probably choose the 2 JP63s. But then again, I might do 2 8500s because, you know, Ben's my homeboy and I have a stack of them in the back. So I'm like, that's what I would do. So.
The best thing since pimping and hoeing. Speaking of pimping and hoeing, I watched the Hard Out Here for a Pimp scene from Hustle and Flow the other day. I was like, man, I need to rewatch that movie. Let's see. Have you seen the new Shocking?
I'll support Ruthless all day because Ben he's just a bass head way before getting into owning an amp company or a car audio company. I mean, this is just
he just had a knack. Like we had shit years ago. Ben and I were talking about how he's like, I got a good knack for fucking selling off my new and used audio stuff. Like, I'm not afraid to buy something that I might want to use, and if I'm not gonna, he's like, oh, he just had a knack for selling my old amps and shit, you know. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking rad, man. You really, you know, he's just one of them people that has a knack for something.
Yeah,
and
like, some people just sell stuff, right?
He's good at selling his stuff online. He doesn't sell it super cheap. He doesn't sell it super expensive, even the new or used or whatever. He's good at figuring out what the appropriate price is. He's good at communicating with people online, the way he puts it together. And so he was like, I'm going to make my own amp line. And, you know, him and I talked a little bit, and I'm sure he talked to a bunch of other people as well, but I helped him get hooked up with the guys in Korea, and shit, his fucking amps landed before mine did. They get delivered here.
Me and
they show up right fucking here. I'm like, yay.
Me and we're going back and forth a little bit on my post about the Warhorse amps. When I shared the information of the pricing and everything, I think CE Outlook said there could be $1,100 or something for the 3600, which, I mean, it's right in line with like a Salt 4. I don't know what the retail in Bobby's is in that power range. I think it's probably around there if I had to guess, just knowing how Bobby prices stuff. And Casey was like, oh, he's like, I bet it won't run one ohm or below 1 ohm and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, I bet it will. And it's like, and I could tell like some of his comments were like he was saying that because I'm sponsored, I gotta like church him up, right? And it's like, man,
yeah,
I don't. But you also gotta have faith. He did pay me $1. Let's come back to this. So I said, I bet you $1 it'll run below half ohm. And he's like, oh, he said, I'll bet you $1. I was like, you owe me $1 then. I can't post up information that I have, but I'm telling you, these amps are going to be very
strong.
There's a reason why I'm building a 100,000 watt battery bank.
I think I saw your battery today, Steve.
You want to see it?
I went to Brad.
See it.
Fucking battery.
Look at that smile, bro. He's like, you want to see it?
Hang on. It's he.
He's like, you want to see it? He stands up, starts. I went to Brad's day to pick up the battery for Jim's Escalade, and that motherfucker was huge, but Steve's was bigger. And then the two batteries for Ben's Hearst were there, and they were like each of the two were just a little smaller than the one that I'm putting in the Escalade. It was like, holy fuck. Yes, you do. I have to laser your battery top thing this weekend. Brad was telling me that today. He's like, thing in the Casey. I'm like, fuck, Brad, god damn it. I got way too much fucking work to do to be fucking having to squeeze in laser cutting battery tops and machining fucking for goddamn Brett Baldwin too. I got to machine the fucking thing for his battery. I'm like, fucking guys, I got too much shit to do.
Right,
Goddamn kids.
One thing that I want to get with an electrical engineer like Nick Ames, I want to get somebody on here, maybe from Kicker, to go. So I want to go over the difference between full bridge and half bridge amps and why the topology doesn't affect reliability in any capacity. It is how the amp manufacturer designs and produces the amplifier.
You know what I can fucking tell you directly correlates with reliability of amplifiers?
Cost.
That's right.
Cost.
You fucking got it. One thing I will tell you is the most expensive amplifiers on the market are absolutely the most reliable 100% of the fucking time. And there are guys that be like, nope. You can fucking look at it. You can look at the real world data of it.
Dude, that thing is huge.
Yeah, that's a fucking lot of battery.
It's 360
that fucking cart right there with all those fucking batteries in it right there is a wiggly, sketchy, like you feel like it's gonna break bitch. When we took the battery,
you got Jim's bars? You got money. Well, you had money. He took it.
No, well,
yeah.
It comes down to the sponsored thing again. It's going to cost me quite a few Korean barbecue visits is what it's going to cost me.
Oh, no. Bro, that's going to cost you way. You should have just bought the bars.
Just paid for the bars. Yeah, it's Korean barbecue for life is what it cost me, which is fine.
See, and Blake gets it. So many of these cheap-ass Brazilian amps have ruined the reputation of full bridge in the bass head world because they're cheap. But like Crown, we know who Crown is, right? Crown JBL. Most of their pro audio amps are full bridge, as in they use both rails for voltage.
Well, there's probably a half a dozen
$100,000 amps.
Oh, those Crown amps are garbage. That's what you're telling me.
That's what I'm telling you. Oh,
full bridge, no, fuck it.
Yep. So one of the reasons the Warhorse amp took a little bit longer than they anticipated was they didn't plan on doing a ground up design for this first amp. They were going to work with like a Sinai or somebody, right? They were like, look, these guys really got this shit figured out. I bet we could work together, kind of like they do on other stuff, right? Nope. There was no company produced an amplifier to their standards, which if there's one thing I've always known Kicker for, Rockford for, JL for, is those amps are quality every time. You ever had a Kicker amp that was just booty? No, you haven't.
What are you saying? The Crown amps aren't good? I missed that.
No, I'm saying most Crown amps and large pro audio amps are full bridge. The way, so all full bridge means is you have a positive and negative speaker output. They both have half the signal. That's full bridge. Half bridge.
Can I tell you guys a fun story about quality things?
In one
hang on.
Half bridge amps take the negative output of the amplifier and send all of the signal through the positive wire. That's why when you strap two half bridge amps, you link the negatives because you're linking the grounds of the amplifiers, and then you're using one amp for half the voltage, the other amp for the other half of the voltage, making a one large full bridge amplifier. That's the only difference.
And when you have, like for a house, we have way more voltage.
Mm-hmm.
A full bridge amplifier obviously makes way more sense, right?
It can, yeah. There is a way to use mains power to power those really big amplifiers whenever you're using both sides of the amp. Like, again, this is why I think we should get an electrical engineer in one night to better explain some of this stuff. Like maybe old Sam from Bear Viz will come on one day. He seems, me and him kind of been back and forth a little bit, but the more I learn, the more I'm like, man, know a thing or two about a thing or two. Yeah, the same power full bridge amps have lower rail voltage than half bridge amps. So the reason like these Korean half bridge amps are so known for reliability is Korea got real good at making them. They got really fucking good at it. They make really tough ones. And the reason the full bridge amps got really bad raps is like Terra amps, like the older Terra amp stuff, the older cheap Brazilian stuff. They just made full bridge amps very cheaply because in general, full bridge needs less parts, so they're cheaper to make.
Even some of the not cheaper stuff like Sound Digital, that was still pretty garbage.
But if you look like JL has only ever made full bridge amps, ever. I think they have one half bridge amp they've made one time. Most kicker things ever were full bridge. The original Warhorse was a full bridge design in a very weird way.
Very weird way.
Very weird. Like, and it was like an old Class D full bridge. It was like an early one, very early.
Very early.
But it was
strange.
But
it
had
to have a dual voice coil subwoofer.
I'm saying your VXI is going to explode. Sorry, bud. Actually, sorry,
yeah.
In VX full bridge. Yeah, there's a bunch of full bridge stuff out now. That's Korea is they're coming out with some. But so the new Warhorse, I say all this because the new Warhorse 3600 is a full bridge design. It's an in-house full bridge design, and it's designed basically like two half bridge amps strapped together because there's two power supplies that are completely separate inside the amplifier that power each half of the amp. It's craziness. What would you know about speakers? Oh, guys, I have some heartbreaking news.
Yeah.
So normally people don't talk about when they blow up speakers or when they kill a driver because that's not good. Boy, I killed it. I heard it.
Man, they got recones for those things. You can rebuild that thing.
Boy, it hurt. Let me say, it hurt all my feelings, bro. I was doing something with a DSP, not a JL DSP, and I knew in my soul what I was about to do. I'm like, man, this could cause a problem, but it would take me 5 more seconds to do it the other way. I'll just do it the fast way. I made the change. I heard, Beow! I just shut my computer. I was like, oh, killed that. I didn't even check. I just said, I did that.
Hey, were they able to fix your Max that you fried?
The first one? The one I blew up? The one I blew sparks out of?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, not that one. Apparently,
I was sure the answer was no right after I asked it, and you didn't respond with yes.
No. So, there's a second one that they say I hurt, but I didn't hurt. So I think it's some bullshit. But why did you break one?
No, I didn't. We're fine and dandy with our Max. But fun story. It's actually not that much fun. It kind of sucks ass. But we had in the Raiden, remember we had that Matrix line driver audio control product? We had the old one, the Matrix. And I don't know how old that fucking thing was, but it was big. It was a big ass box looking. And it was underneath the driver's seat. Well, after shaking the shit out of it and it being fucking like a 2005 fucking product or something, it finally kind of broke. And then we actually went to a different set of channels and it was fine, but eventually those channels started to break and we reinforced things and we made it better. And then we got the new one, much smaller footprint, Matrix Plus.
And
what do you think that caused?
What it cost?
Caused.
Oh, shit blew up.
No.
Noise.
It made engine noise.
Of course it fucking did. You know why? Because audio control would rather come out with fucking subwoofers.
Noise. I'm all, what the fuck's going on in here, man? Why is this thing making fucking engine noise now, guys? And the guys are like, I don't fucking know, man. And they're like, you know what? It's got the old ass RCA cables. We had the seats out. Maybe we smacked. Let's start. And the guys are fucking putting new RCA cables in. They're doing all kinds of shit. We knew the head unit was kind of fucky and kind of broken and kind of. And if you fucked with it, you could get noise. So it was like, Jim, let's get a new head unit. He's like, just get it. Just go get fucking head unit. Go get brand new Alpine fucking Halo fancy shit. Put that shit all in. It's different. There's not as much noise, but there's fucking noise. And we're like, Maul, yeah, check everything. Start disconnecting things. Fucking and Tyson's all, let me try this. Just unplug the fucking RCA cables from that fucking matrix. It's running the subs. It's like injecting it back through the signal into the rest of the system. As soon as we disconnected it from the fucking matrix, everything else was fucking perfect. Not a fucking peep. No, like
an MVI amplifier, 6 of the channels or 8 if you want to use an 8 channel it's already a line driver. It can go to like
I know, but
50 volts.
but we have 2 fucking 808s in there, but we're using all of the channels. And so we ordered a DD. We ordered the DD fucking gizmo. It was fucking $130 or whatever. We're problem solved. We're good. But it'll be here tomorrow.
The ZVL?
Yeah, ZVL.
Oh, you could use those on non-DD amps?
Yeah, you can use them on anything.
It's
Any
a
amp
line
that has
driver.
a
I know they don't like advertise it as a line driver, but it's just a line driver.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it'll work on any amp that can be put into slave mode.
Yeah. As
So
soon
all
as it
slave
was,
mode is just-
I was like, fucking use one of the amplifier output channels. Bam, baby, we're good. And fucking Tyson's all, we're using every channel of all those amps. But I was like, okay, fuck me. And I called John Rabby. I'm all, John, what do you got for a fucking line driver? This fucking goddamn audio control's making noise. And he was like, oh, fuck, goddamn. And he's like, oh, yeah, the DD. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Send it. He was like, cool, I'll get it out today. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I told you guys this before, but I went up to I was using an overdrive. I think that's what it's called. That's one of their line drivers too.
That's the one pair of channels line driver, where the Matrix Plus was like 6 in and 6 out.
So I'm using the overdrive, and I'm testing the output voltage on each channel of the thing, and they're half a volt off at dead zero. It's like one says 0, one says half a volt. And as you know, turning them up, and they just keep getting further and further apart. So I went to Audio Control's booth at CES, and I told them about that and asked them, and the dude was like, "Oh, it's just totally normal, just how it's supposed to be." I was like, "Oh, cool. I'm never using one of your products again." That was the last time
man, you know,
sorry.
We were so excited when Audio Control got brought into Sky High, because a lot of the products are like, they used to be very good, you know, and it was a great product to work with. And we started bringing in, and we're doing stuff, and we're working around little problems and little problems and little problems, little problems. Like, there's a lot of fuck problems, man. Like, fuck, dude. Like, you know,
and
the amplifiers that have the built-in DSP, no matter what you do, they don't sound right unless they fixed it. But I don't think they did. They just seem like they keep getting worse. It's so challenging to work with the product, man. It's rough. What are you doing there, kid?
No. I'm trying to show this.
Now you've gone and done it.
Cam, nothing nice. Like I said, I'm in the house.
What's Audio Tech? I'm not familiar with Audio Tech DSP.
No, most of it. No, you turd.
I've had pretty good luck with the
I'm just stand up.
with the Audio Control 1500 or the 1-1500 mono amp, and their 4-channel being good functioning amps that make reasonable power. And I haven't had any noise from them at all, but
Here we go.
the fucking DSP and the line driver and shit, and that used to be their shit, man. The high level inputs and line drivers and all of that fancy shit that they made back in the day.
So this is the LF Audio wireless volume controller. Like I said, it's 4 walls between me and the shop, and this is in the base station in the shop.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it normally shows a sine wave when it's playing a signal.
Yeah.
Come on, thing, connect. Yeah, I'll do a video on it later. That makes sense.
Muted.
I got
What
a
a turd. It's not a turd. I'm the turd for trying to make a cadet through a building.
Are you gonna put that in the wagon for Slam?
Uh-oh, he's gone.
Oh no!
I'm back. No, this one I'm just doing some measurements on and then sending it to somebody else. The wagon still has the Amplifier version
Okay.
of the wireless of like a wireless Bluetooth connector, Bluetooth knob.
So you're gonna use that one, not the LF one, or are you gonna use the LF one?
We're gonna keep using the one from AmpLab for now. They're working on a version 2, so though the LF audio stuff, we talk about the power meter, I will 100% be getting one of those.
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to.
All of his new stuff is tight. Audio
I don't
Tech
personally
Fisher.
need it, but I know a lot of people out there would like to have one for newer cars because I have a throttle body, so it's easy for me to set my RPM with just manually. But if he made something that could talk to the computer in your car to fucking set the RPMs, but like
That'd
a
be sick.
demo, that'd be
Audio
dope.
Tech Fisher, Brax Helix. Brax is that high end shit.
Audio Tech, yeah, remember Audio Technics.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they had to change their name, was because of Audio Tech. They got sued.
I don't know that.
That's when they changed their name to CT Sounds.
Looking for a good set of 6x9s.
Eaker Holmes. I don't know. There's a lot.
Isn't Sky High coming out with some like high end 6x9s?
Yeah, Weird Skies. I think they have a good one.
Karma Mobile Audio actually has a really good set of 6x9s. Like they're more of a dedicated mid bass, but they're pretty solid.
That box, that Stephen James box, man, that thing looks fucking cool.
Every time I see it, and then the fact that it's for 2 8s. Yeah,
that's pretty fucking rad, man. I dig
So
that.
what's the judging points for deadliest demo at Slam this year?
I guess we need to really start talking about that in the group. I don't think it's going to change much than what the last judging sheet was. I could pull that up. I got to order them damn shirts too. I keep fucking forgetting.
I got to make that motherfucking award.
Yeah. Amongst a gazillion other fucking things to do.
Dude, I got a whole ass fucking build to finish and get out there.
Yeah, I have half of one. It's going to happen though. All right, let's see. iDrive.
The guys were staining the inside of the enclosure today with a really pretty blue stain. It's the fucking goddamn 3-stage process that Colton Allison came up with, and we got stain that looks pretty fucking similar to the color of our amplifiers. So
nice.
Yeah.
So, Steven, your mid bass shouldn't be playing that low. You need to chill out. 45 hertz, that's subwoofers. But for a 6x9 to play like that, I would really look into the Karma audio 6x9. It's gonna be solid. But again, don't play your mid bass that low. Stop it. Your sub should play higher than that. Should play up to that easily.
Yeah, why is this shit always so hard to fucking find?
When is someone gonna release a 2-ohm 8-inch mid bass? Man, I can already reach the limits of the 8s in my truck, and they're 4-ohm just bridged on 808.
My first round of everything that's coming, my 8s will not have the 2-ohm ones, but the second go round, which will be shortly after these things arrive, we will have a 2-ohm mid bass. But
so you see right there, commitment to demoing. I'm taking an L, bro. If that bitch breaks after like 2 o'clock on Saturday, might as well put it back on the trailer.
So I think we can probably tweak this a little bit. We probably will. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Like aesthetics and install quality, maybe kind of the same thing. I don't know.
No, like some builds they look like it's pretty basic and it's just really clean, but sometimes they have a theme to it that fucking is really fun. And that's kind of that aesthetics, beauty, and brutal looking theme.
And so
And
also
then
know some,
install quality is like, is that motherfucker super clean and elegant and fucking beautiful? And I mean, it's a little bit different, right? You can kind of give somebody a little extra in that.
I mean, and I know some
beauty or
builds
brutal
that look real pretty until you pull that fucking panel off, because then that install quality is not good.
Should we put a mids and high thing in here?
Yeah, I would absolutely put like how does this shit sound, and I will go critique the
noise?
Fuck out of there.
Engine noise on a scale from 1 to 10.
Engine noise 1 to 10. Engine
Maybe
noise, yes or no?
like showmanship, we could put vocals,
and
then I think one should be like sound quality. How good does it sound?
Yeah, I mean, I think that should be part. I mean, that should be part of vocals. I think your vocals should sound.
They
good.
better be. They got to kind of keep up with how loud the subsystem is, and they got to sound pretty good doing it. They're all crackling and doing fucked up shit like most of our shits do.
Yeah. So this damage, destructiveness, wow factor, is that?
I think damage, destructive. You can kind of just delete that. Maybe keep it as wow factor, because so many vehicles are full steel cabin that no one's breaking anything.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if this kind of falls into the same place as
Luke,
I'm judging.
I'm fucking walking up to Luke, and he's got fucking glass shrouds on the ground, and he's trying to tape the window.
But I think that fits under commitment to demoing more than anything.
Well, because the wow factor could be a full steel build, or it could also be,
or it could be a fucking nuked windshield with torn tape and the shit's flapping.
Could be, or it could be the fact that your Roth Wismer fucking killing it. I may have mispronounced his last name, but
don't change it. Endurance. I mean, are those kind of the same thing? Maybe they could be combined.
No,
you can't put any
because I don't know. The wagon could demo all weekend. I could give 1,000 demos, but I didn't really commitment to demoing. Just kind of sit there. I didn't have to like pull 19 subwoofers out 12 times like Duncan has done. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Like the fucking the Baracus truck and the Russian Wind vehicles, they had them out there, and they're like, yep, they're gonna play them at 11 o'clock, and we fucking hike out there at 10 till 11. We stand there until fucking 11:25, and I'm out.
Nope.
Fucking stood here for 35 fucking minutes. It's fucking over. And then they're like, hey, they're playing them. I'm good. I'm not fucking walking back out there again. I couldn't give two fucking shits. Like, if you tell me 11 o'clock.
Yeah, build quality and
fit and finish.
Read my mind.
Yep. Like, you know.
You read my mind on that one, Steve. Let me answer choke change real quick, because my man brought me some chocolates when I needed them. Do you know if the Tweak 88 has the same functionality as NVI amps? What do you mean by same functionality? They both use Tune 4.6. They are effectively the same DSPs minus all pass filters on the Tweak.
Yeah.
And then this is a response to me saying your sub should play 45 hertz, not the box tuned to 25. Then you should get a new box. That's too low. The new thing is no one likes to play above 35 hertz, and they don't really care about sound quality, so they don't care about mid bass. Let's be honest here. What other brands built an OEM standard? We don't want to talk about OEM standards because Audio Tech Fisher still uses single point processing in their DSPs, and this isn't 1993 anymore. They need to do better. Drew is going to bring my ass a score sheet. Yes, I'm judging all of your mids and highs for Deadliest demos. If your shit sounds like booty, I'm telling you, you're getting a 1.
Maybe I'll put radio noise in here.
But if you have engine noise, you're getting a -11.
No, we should have that be a fucking line.
A disqualifier. A disqualifier.
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah, just your
engine alternator fucking noise, and be like, turn that shit all the way down. Roll these windows all the way up. That's like, tell me about your build. Get your voltage up for me. Give me the fucking daddy. All right, tell me about your build. Show me your engine noise. Does your AC work? No.
So playing down
that should be for fucking SQ cars, man. If you guys with the SQ builds and they fucking take the AC out and you're like, let me get a demo. Never mind. It's motherfuckers like hot.
So Steve Head. So there's a guy named Steve Head. He does very, very well. He's been competing for longer than I've been alive, legitimately. His Blazer has a portable AC unit that is plumbed through the dashboard through what would be OEM location-ish vents. So the vehicle does not run. All you feel is a nice, cool breeze coming out of the dash that you can't hear.
Fucking brilliant.
Bro, what? And he has a carpet he puts out by the door, bro. It's what puts on a show. Yeah,
You're like, take your shoes off. Come in, relax, fucking cool off. Here, have a fucking shot of whiskey.
You want to play 15 hertz? I mean, like Jeffrey Hall's car can play 15 hertz, but he has he has two different subs. One that does 30 hertz and down, and the other does 30 to 90 because that's subwoofer frequencies. Oh no, yeah, you get demos of my truck at a hot show. You got to understand that you're going to hear from that fucking diesel motor. Choke change so you were at Aggie. You care about what your car sounds like. You're going to want all pass filters because you're going to want your mid bass and everything to properly align at your face. Many will say it can be done without them. None of them beat these JL cars at Aggie. I don't know what to tell you.
So exciting. We have our SQ competition here at Gately Audio on the 5th of May. It should be pretty cool. Triple points event, and it's the day after a big event at the Autorama car show. So, yeah.
See, Andrew, and that's why I was trying to tell Bobby he needed to come out to Aggie. Next year he coming. He coming. I was saying that can I get a demo SQ guide? No. He wasn't an SQ guide because they were all at Aggie and they all give demos. I'll just say it. If you don't show up to Aggie or SVR, is your car really that good? I'm just saying. That's like saying I'm not showing up to the Super Bowl. Okay. You weren't invited, bud. Speaking of, apparently they are. So Money Round's always been kind of invitational only with a couple of open spots. From what I heard, next year they are limiting Money Round entries to even fewer. Like you basically have to be invited to be in the Money Round for next year because there were too many people. I mean, windy and violent 15 hertz. Then you don't truly. This is coming from a guy who has a vehicle that can rip your face off with bass. That vehicle is not for sound quality. It's just not. I've never met more negative people, man. See, and that's why, like Andrew, Bobby, all y'all got to come to Aggie. It is the Aggie is basically.
I think we're gonna have a good time at my shop. The only thing I'm afraid of with regards to my show, and I gotta tell any of you guys that are watching, don't fucking do this, is I'm afraid bass heads are gonna come pulling up playing their fucking cars and fucking up the scoring of the SQ stuff that's going on.
Well, how big is the SQ presence at Slam? Is it even there?
I mean,
it's a little something, but they
probably 20, 30 cars, and then
would it be cool? Like
my truck this year probably would have been top 2, top 3. Like that truck's real fucking good right now. So I mean, truck would have been up there.
Who is one of the biggest promoters? Who does that show? Who promotes that show?
It's SQology, Clifton.
I'm gonna have to maybe talk to him. I think we could do something at the showdown. Like, we don't have a show where it's just like all genres of car audio. We got bass heads, we got the baggers, the side-by-side guys, the fucking SQ guys. There's the boat guys. There's audio and everything. It would be dope to just have one giant car audio, just mobile audio show. All things with audio. That'd be dope.
Texas is effectively the mecca of SQ done the way that we would like it. That's just kind of how it is. We want it loud, but you want it to sound really, really good. So, I mean, you get to California and you run into a bunch of the guys that Bobby's talked about, like, oh man, they don't want to demo or they're not loud or this and that. That is a lot of people, but that's a lot. So, SU guys are generally an older crowd. It's kind of how it is. You want.
Send me dude's information, Drew. What'd you say his name was again? Clifton.
Yeah, I see. He actually does an audio podcast every week. But I will send that to you. You can chat with him. Super cool
I'll
guy.
hit him up. I mean, maybe if we could. I'd love to. I've always wanted to get the showdown to just keep growing. And I mean, fuck, dude. Why don't we all love the same shit? Music. Some like it louder than others, but I know I appreciate the SQ stuff, loud or
And
not.
dude, and these SQ guys, like especially the ones at Aggieland, all the shows that we go to, they absolutely love the Tahoe when I brought it out. They loved it. Did they want me demoing it while they're getting judged for money round? $4,000 win? Fuck no, they don't want me to demo that thing. But I was respectful, and we went and rode. I took at least 40 trips down the road to let people hear that thing. Just because, when I'm getting judged, I know I don't want me playing my truck next to the building. I know what the building sounds like. But yeah, I think that would just be the hardest thing is to get high level SQ people out like Thanos or Mark Eldridge or any of these really high end cars. Got to put some money on it. There's got to be a money round, and then the judging is going to have to be good. So you can't be a lot of loudness around, which kind of makes it hard.
I mean, Vegas is not central, but between I think the other SQ hotbed, which is the Pacific Northwest, it's kind of in between those two.
It's weird. Yeah, there's like 3 hotbeds. There's like Texas, East Texas, kind of Pacific Northwest, and Northeast.
The Northeast, yeah.
Yeah, like where SVR is, which is the other like big show. There's Aggieland and SVR.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd love to get the baggers out there before.
I think.
I mean, if there was an SPL version of Money Round, motherfuckers would be going hard, bruh. If they could be like, look, baby, I could talk to their wife, baby, I could win $4,000.
I'll tell you what, Andrew.
I don't know if some of these cars. I don't know if I'd want.
Oh, I don't know, Andrew. Man, I've seen cars that I know had 100K into the fucking build for sure.
So Monday after Aggie, I think I might have sent Bobby a picture from inside of it. I'm sitting inside a car called Thanos, listening to this full dash build Challenger, $45,000 in 4 amplifiers. 4.
Yeah, they definitely spend more money. Their shit costs way more than ours. Like, some of it.
But we buy so much of what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
I got a customer.
What I was going to say to Andrew is the cash. So hang on, let me. They can say this cash prizes thing. I sent Andrew a text the other day showing him something that Shitting on Him's doing, and if all that goes really well,
yes, he fucking did, bro.
Come next Slamology, if that all works out well, maybe we'll give some money to the winner because we'll have.
Bro, tell you what, dude, when you sent me that, I literally had chills, bro. I was like, bro, I was gassed up.
Big time. What were you gonna say, Bobby?
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all, Shitting on Him is now the official Joe Biden. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, blue all the way, boys. Shit.
So, what really hurts the SQ thing is what it's like at an SQ event is everybody's just standing there chatting. And for the most part, most people aren't allowed to play their vehicle because it's too close to something that's being judged.
Yeah.
Everybody's just standing there.
That's one reason why like the SQology stuff is so it's so different. It's like the money round judging happens in a separate, like at Aggie, it happens inside the building. So everybody outside, have at it. Demo away. I've never heard of a single person being told, hey, can you turn it down?
Yeah, you almost like how we have a demo area in the lanes. You have to separate them. You can't. But then the SQ guys usually just kind of hang around the lanes. So their cars
at Aggie, so at Aggie,
there's no lane. They're just sitting there. The judges are walking around.
That's right.
Yeah. So
and the judging sequence, the guys have been there for a long time. They're all sitting in there with their eyes closed and shit, and it's kind of weird. And you're like, "What the fuck is going on, bro?" You're like,
Yeah. What are you
Yeah,
guys doing there?
it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, but so I really think, I gas up Aggie a lot because it's, it's the big one. It really is. But it's also, it is what Bobby wants. It is what it is what SPL guys would like. And because it was my first entry into SQ, that's all I've ever known is Aggie Land. Like that was my first SQ event that Taylor Gardner, T-Fade took me to.
Yeah. My first experience is me and Will Welcher, 2018 Surf City. The SQ event was early Saturday morning, and it was kind of in this down little secluded spot, and it was starting at like 9 a.m. early. And so we got down there at like 8 something, right when, everybody's all pulled in and there's a handful of guys standing around, and me and Will came over and we're kind of walking around and we're kind of walking and looking. And I'm like, man, I kind of want to fucking hear some of these things. This is pretty cool. Like I'm excited. I want to see, that what happens when it gets started. And we're kind of twiddling our thumbs, and 15, 20 minutes goes by, and there's a few guys, there's like a kind of bigger group standing there, and there's like 4 guys over here. And I walk over and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Man, I want to check this out. We're here to see the show with the fucking bass rigs. He's got his crazy car, and I'd love to, hear one of these things. And like the guy's like, nah, I'm not playing it. And I'm like, any of you guys? And they're like, well, they're gonna be judging soon. And I'm like, how the fuck
boring.
are you a stereo guy? And I walk up and I'm a fucking car audio guy that owns a car audio shop that's interested in hearing people's audio systems. So I'm like,
I'll circle back to this case.
okay, and I'm like, that's fucking weird. And then we kind of waited around a little while, and Will had a brief conversation with one of the guys, and by that time they were actually judging, and the guy was like, oh, I can't, the car over there, like 2 cars over, is being judged, so he couldn't.
Nah, none of those things. I don't know. Like Blake will tell you. And same thing I tell any judge who gets on, anyone who wants a demo. They're like, "Oh, how loud can I go?" You go until you run out of volume, and if it stops getting louder, then I guess my shit ain't good enough. That's how you go until you run out of wanting to be louder. That's how loud.
Northern California SQ scene, their fucking demos are quiet. No, you don't even have to bring your voice up to ask.
At money round, if you show up a vehicle that is that quiet, you're not going to do good. That's all it is. You're not going to do good. Because part of it is fun. It's got to be fun. It's got to be, and there's just nothing fun about it.
I heard a couple of vehicles that sounded fucking beautiful.
Yeah, like that purple Challenger. It actually won best sound. Apparently, it sounded amazing to the 3 judges who heard it.
And maybe he didn't get loudness for the business, but he didn't give me.
Yeah, but loudness was not talked about.
Yeah, it sounded fucking great. It was pretty fun. But like, there's no way that I would be. I mean, like in my van right now, I have 2 12s, and that's pretty bitching. And I'm pretty content with how much output that is. Mm-hmm. And I don't need it to be super duper fucking loud. I don't need like a goddamn bass rig, fucking driving around. But I'm trying to fucking jam like pretty fucking loud, 140, 145 dBs.
Yeah,
on my bass, and with a bunch of beautiful fucking DSP.
And so you would love Jeffrey's car, because that's right where Jeffrey's car is. It's like 140 with the subs on the SPL tune, and the mids and highs keep up, and they sound phenomenal. Kicker.
Yeah, I don't think it's a terrible idea, to be honest. I was actually thinking about that today. Like, you got to be really committed to run the square subs, because you pretty much the only sub you're going to run is that.
Yep.
We could rebaffle your shit and put round subs in there pretty reasonably.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, just for like, let's say you just wanted to try it. You can't, like, for the everyday, somebody's got a single 15 in their car. They're not just going to go build a new box. They're not going to buy the square sub because it ain't going to go in there.
Well, you can throw just as big a fucked up curveball by being like, oh, sick, I'm going to try a DD15. And it shows up, and it fucking is 17 inches.
Let me tell you about them DD ESP15s, brother.
For sure.
I'm going to tell you about them.
You're all, oh, wow, that's great. I just fucked myself. I get customers
Yeah, you
all
can
the
put
time
a
that are
normal
like,
18
hey,
in
can I
that
put
cutout.
2508s in your box? I'm all, no, you can't. You can more easily put them in our double 10 box because that's the appropriate parameters for it. And we just cut the holes a little bit smaller than they normally would be. So
this is something that I 138% agree with, and it's been a problem in SPL for years. It's a problem in SQ. There is no amateur class anymore. There is no entry level class because all it is. I'm not gonna say any names, but there are multiple people who compete in amateur, in SQ, and SPL who are simply paying shops. Build me a winning vehicle. Okay. And because the owner has never competed and does not work in the shop, they can run amateur. I think that's
that probably happens way more in SQ. I feel like the SPL side of competing is not nearly as serious as
it is. So like in novice classes, so, this is specifically a USAC thing for a while. Say Chris Munson built a loud ass CRX, loud ass Caravan, the Caravan. No one's bought his Caravan. Perfect one. Caravan. He could build that thing and dominate, right? And Chris, the Munsons, they're gonna fucking win. That's just how that is. Then my neighbor could go buy that van as is and run novice and just drag his balls across novice.
Yeah, it could, but that never happens.
Yeah,
Not in
happens,
SPL. Happens in SQ.
And it happens in SPL. There was a lot of it going on when I was still competing, and as far as I'm aware, it never stopped. People would just buy loud vehicles or buy a vehicle, bring it to someone.
If there is if as far as like a sporting thing is concerned, if there is no danger of a competitor being damaged or fucking getting hurt or being in the way of a high level, like when it comes to like competing in a sport or a racing or something like that, there's really not a reason for there to be a separation, like because where is the line of what's a novice and what's not, and if you can if my customer can come in here, and have and pay me to build something for them, and then they go and fucking compete, I was like, oh, I don't want the Raiden to win like best of show and like the best install awards and shit like that. I don't think it should. I'm way too affiliated with Steve.
Yeah.
But Jim is like, Bobby, what, man? I want to win that fucking award. I spent a lot of money on this thing. I fucking think I should be in contention, buddy. And I'm all.
That's what I told you too. I told you the same thing. I was like, it's not your car. This is.
I know. I just still feel like because you're my boy,
dude. But like,
feel like I'm cheating.
If you go in like the car show world, these people that own these fucking like cars that win at Pebble Beach, they didn't build the motherfucker.
And I get both sides of it. Like I get where Jim's like, man, like I work hard for that money. I spent that money. Why can't I win? I get that side of it.
Yeah.
Especially Jim.
And I don't really
Jim's
believe
just competing in like
the way. I just say that this is how I feel.
Different.
Jim feel
isn't competing. Yeah. I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing, class.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like if you take the Deadliest demo, like we gave 2 away, not last year, but the year before, kind of for that reason, because Roth he's not affiliated with any audio companies. That's his build. He built it all. He did everything. And then Andrew, obviously B2 at the time and all that. So we couldn't decide between the two. So we gave 2 awards because we felt like for that reason, he's not affiliated with an audio company. He doesn't own one and doesn't work for one. And, so it gave him that. Yeah, I agree. There should be some class and there usually is. Like usually if you own or affiliate with an audio company, you're like automatically in the pro class.
Do you feel that's it? I gave up chasing the SPL. I ain't never going to win. I ain't worried about it, bud. But like,
yeah, I don't care about it.
People who compete are always going to have something to say about it. Like when I first started competing in SQ, like 2 years ago now, they slapped my ass into Pro-Am, right, with Jeffrey Hall and everybody else, just because you own a car audio business. Into Pro-Am you go, boy. Okay, sounds good.
Girl, I designed speaker boxes in my in my bedroom.
I'm in my bedroom, bro. Come on, for real though.
Yeah, you're
Like-
a fucking industry professional, bitch. You're in there.
Yep, get in there. But I don't know. That just it's definitely a weird thing, right? Because I can understand, like, say Jim wanted to compete in amateur and SQ, whatever, right? He worked hard for his money. Why can't if he wants to, sure. But also, is it fair if he just pays NTI to build him a Ford truck? Like, that's what they build is Ford trucks, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the whole build, not bought, or whatever. You know,
But hey, if you want to compete, and this is just how I feel about it. If
Did
say
they give him an award? Did anybody get mad at him, Steven? Did people get all fucking vinegar faced and fucking grumpy, or were they everybody cool just because it was old Eddie Van Halen theme fucking build?
Yeah, so Damien competes in amateur because he doesn't work in a shop. He builds basically he does everything himself. You know, with a little help from friends here and there, like we all get. But he was railroaded by vehicles that were just built by shops, just flat out built by shops. The owners know how to start the vehicle. And that's about as far as it goes. And I think they should have their ass in the highest pro class. If you want to have your vehicle built by a pro, tuned by a pro, only worked on by a pro, that's a pro vehicle. Carry your ass to pro. You and your pro money can go to pro.
I always felt like the people that are competing too, not anybody, because sometimes people are going to build something they have more skills at doing a certain thing than you, and you got to pay them to do it, whatever, blah, blah.
Yeah.
A part of competing is the competition part. Like, if you're not putting any of your own time and effort into making your car louder or sound better, like, are you even competing? What are you doing? Are you just the one there, like, turning
I
it
can
off?
see the argument of I'm working, I'm paying for it, I'm spending my time to pay for it. I can see that argument. So that's why it's hard for me. Like, I see both sides of it. I really do.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, okay, if you're really into it and you're really about competing, you may have paid somebody to do it, but you're still in there, like knowing, trying to be better at the competing part.
And like Damien says, the owners of these vehicles are awesome people. They really are. And I'm not saying anything against them. They're playing within the rules. Power to them. If you're within the rules, keep on winning, buddy. This is an organizational level thing where I'm kind of complaining about.
Is this just like more prevalent in the SQ world than like, it seems like something
it feels more prevalent because that's what I've been doing a lot lately. But I know for a fact that it was a big issue in USAC whenever I was still doing USAC stuff.
So if it's an amateur thing, then there should be incredible limitations to the modifications that can happen to the vehicle.
So there is, to an extent. But once you get to the top of amateur class, it's basically wide open.
Well, then it shouldn't be. Then it's not. If it's amateur, it should be like
then
you
it's
can
an
only have
organization
figures with stock locations.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? And like you like that's really, a fucking fair enough limit. You can't modify the pillars, you can't modify the dash, you can't modify the doors, you can't modify
Brother, what do you
shit.
think SPL is? Organizations will change SPL rules in the middle of the year to try to have other people beat people.
Fucking year.
Bro, SPL is the same way.
But the only thing about SPL that's different
is it is a static number.
Is it's done by the meter. You're not cheating it. Where like an SQ, dude, like you literally can just you can't. I'm sure you can't because you will get ousted eventually if you play favoritism all the time. But
well, not if everybody doesn't like that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? If everybody is a consensus of like, oh, fucking this fucking dude, he fucking says that all of us are fucking hella quiet and it's not fun to get a demo. I don't like him.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, they're all gonna judge that fucking van over there, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's only shit. It's only shit."
Yeah.
So I'm not saying anything beyond the single statement. There was a single judge at this last event who gave some pretty crazy scores to a few specific people that I felt were a little outlandish, and it might have stemmed from me saying "fuck" somebody at some point. I don't know. So that is part of the reason why I do still struggle with SQ scoring to an extent. But that's also why there's 8 judges, and it's an average of all 8 in money round. But that is something how I still struggle with, how with SPL there is a number, right? There is a sensor that you cannot offend. You cannot call its mama a bitch, and it scores you lower.
Yep. Like,
So trust me.
when they used to use the RTA and SQ, like, why don't they do that anymore? Is it just not
Because flat doesn't sound good. Flat sounds like shit.
Yeah,
Like a flat RTA sounds like hot booty.
How do you think there's a way?
I'm talking about Daniel Merritt. He wasn't a judge. Actually, he wasn't a judge. I'm just talking shit about Dan.
Do you think there's a way to make a meter to tell you how close the music that's coming out of your speakers will tell you like how close it is to the actual recording, like the way the artist meant it to say?
Maybe not that, but like Jeffrey Hall, right, does remote tuning using a microphone array, and he could look at the data on a Mac screen while he's tuning, and he can basically tell you how it's going to sound.
No, but what I'm saying is like, because in SPL, obviously you use the meter and it tells you,
and there's a number.
But it was like, could it be like if you are perfect, it'd just be a 0. But anything that you're fucking off on, you just start losing points. Like,
maybe.
And the meter just knows, like, nope, you didn't play this how it was supposed to sound. You didn't play this how it was supposed to sound. And it just takes the person out of it. I don't know if that's even possible. But.
And not even just a curve. Like, you would have to measure everything, because like you can make an RTA curve look pretty and it sound like warm booty. It's just not, RTA curves are easy to make look good.
I think one way they could make it happen is, let's say you took the top 20 songs that they use in SQ judging, right? And you had those songs like mapped out by some sort of program that is, this is what it's supposed to sound like.
And you could measure it like a room maybe, or like a reference. You'd have to have a reference.
You basically make a reference song or whatever, like this is what it's supposed to sound like. And then when you put this sensor in the car, it judges it against that reference. And however close you are to
and over time, it has to follow what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it'll give you like a minus score.
It is a reference curve, realistically. Like, there is a general curve that is being used right now by a bunch of top competitors that is all pretty much the same shit.
Yeah, like if all the orgs were to get together and like agree on a curve for, like I said, I'm sure you could do it for every song. There's got to be a popular set of songs.
You kind of can. Like I said, if you're looking at phase and you're looking at the impulse response, you're looking at if everything matches, say, the target in tune. If it matches the target, motherfucker's it's going to image. It's going to stage. It's going to be good. It's going to be close.
I mean, the mic's also, you got to remember, it's not going to be on the dash. So this mic or sensor is going to be wherever the judge's head is. So I'm sure you can figure out it could do imaging and all that shit. We need
you add that microphone array, and it judges all the things that it can, and it's one more of the judges. So like you have 8, it's a 9th judge. And then over time, and maybe there's fucking a couple of different mic arrays that people are putting in there and just to balance out between them over time, right? You know what I mean? But
yeah, you could even have someone like, let's say out of those 9 judges where somebody's the overall, and then you could have someone that's just like the mic winner. The guy who's just scored the best on the mic, and then this is the guy who we all think sound the best, as well as,
Except a Barney head. Exactly. Except a Barney head, because that shit out of here. So yeah,
right,
so like Andrew says, and DSM Talon. No one drives a Talon, bro. Chill out. You got a Mercedes at your profile picture. You haven't driven a Talon in 25 years, have you, bro? Don't lie. Don't lie either. It is very opinion based, and there are some very wild opinions. Like, I had a judge tell me that my sub pulled back in my truck. My sub's in front of me in the truck, so I don't know how it pulled back. But yeah, I'm like, as you compete, you kind of learn what judges know what you kind of know what judges are actually kind of impartial. Like, there's a judge who I thought hated me. Like, I thought he just did not like me. Because, number one, I thought I offended his hearing the first time, because the first time I ever competed, he got out of one of the best sounding pickups in the nation and into my piece of shit. So I thought I offended him. And he never gave me a good score until this year, where the truck was finally better than it's ever been. And he He justified. He's like, good score. I'm like, well, shit. Okay, maybe he is just unbiased, and maybe my car was just.
He may hate you, but he's not a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. You could fucking hate me, but give me a fair fucking score.
Yeah. So, like Damon said, there's like out of all 8 judges. So part of what Clifton did, he sent out a thing showing the scores of the the high, median, and low of all the judges, and you can see where you ended up. I'm gonna address that in a second. Andrew said, yeah, like most judges, that you fall within the a range of all the judges in the same area. Like it there might be an outlier or two here and there, just because there's always going to be that. But
like I said earlier, you will get ousted eventually if you keep doing that shit. I would.
So this may be an West Coast thing. Maybe I'm not sure where Andrew is, but at Aggie, I mean, as long as you don't like slow down things, the judges they all love to tell you what they think you can improve and how to do it. And like, well, I had one judge get out of my truck. He looked me in my eyes and said, "Quit fucking with it and tune it. Quit touching it and just tune the motherfucker." I was like, okay. I'll do that. Got it. Yes, sir. I'll quit touching it. Even though I only touch it like the week before a show.
Well, Drew, I'll tell you what, dude, you're getting in the SQ. You know how to use the Max like a madman. You know audio engineers. I think you need to make a fucking badass SQ mic. It's like the fucking 9th judge.
Figure out how to analyze, how to measure.
The 9th judge. That's what you fucking call that shit.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I feel like we should just like measure Jeffrey Hall's car and be like, hey, the closer you can get to this combined score, the better your car is. Like that's just how it is.
I almost feel like I'm going to talk to Raphael about this because he's an audio producer. You know, I feel like there is.
That dude's so chill. He's so chill.
There is some sort of record already of what this is supposed to sound like when it comes out of the recording.
So that's one thing that I've always been. They're like, oh, you got to have a reference system, or you got to hear it how the audio files will say. You got to hear it how the artist intended, brother. The artist did not have $100,000 in hand built Class A amplifiers in their sound studio. So this is not how they intended it to be listened to.
I want to get like a fucking live band and stack them in my van and blindfold somebody and sit them down and have them actually playing live for them right fucking there. And when they are like, sounds like your subwoofer's pulling back, or like the stage is fucking, and then be like, pull the fucking mask off on them, slap them in the face.
It's actually Godsmack on the hood.
Fucking get out.
It's Chris Stapleton playing on the hood.
Do they ever do blindfolded stuff where like they just walk the judge into the car? He can't even see what car he's getting in. They walk him in and out.
Those are awesome. No.
Like the
vehicles. Mark Eldridge has told this story before, and Bobby might have heard it. How they've made vehicles so dark that the judges don't. That it fucks with the judges because it's so dark they can't see what's going on. They're like, "What the fuck is occurring?" And it doesn't sound right because psychoacoustics are real. It was created by Beats by Dre. What? I didn't know that. And those headphones are god awful. Like you know they're not good when they have to glue weights in. 85% that's a bold number. I would say 95% of people can't hear the difference in most speakers. You gotta think most people still say that you have to have Class AB for stuff to sound good.
I mean, there's probably a lot of things that people hear different. We all hear it differently, I'm sure. Like I read
to an extent, but I mean, we all kind of hear the same though.
But like, it's like 40% of people don't have an inner monologue. This is totally off topic.
Yeah, do I heard
40%?
Yeah, it's like really high. So
man, dude, like they're not like they don't think to themselves, okay, these are the words that I'm gonna say now before I say it.
Inner monologues. So like maybe people like don't hear shit at all like I hear it, and maybe they don't see shit at all. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they don't hear music like music. Maybe they just hear it as like different sine tones,
colors.
They don't listen. They don't feel the lyrics of a song. I super duper feel the lyrics. It's like first thing I notice is what it sounds like, and I get like, oh, this jams. I like this is a cool sound. But then I listen to the lyrics, and if it sounds really whiny or hella lame or pathetic, I can't listen to it. Like if somebody's like whining about their fucking chick on them and shit, I'm like, I don't even get heartbroken by a chick that fucking.
Have y'all heard?
Like, oh, you're
I don't
out.
know if y'all keep up with the rap industry or the hip hop game at all, and I really don't. But whenever there's a bunch of like diss tracks happening, I keep up with that. Have y'all kept up with any of that lately?
No.
So you know who Chris Brown is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He put out a diss track on one of the Migos, Quavo, and it is possibly the most aggressive diss track I've ever heard.
Really?
It basically comes out the gate and says, fuck Quavo. My God dang.
Well, he probably means actually fucking.
No. He is very clear about
now, so
he is very clear about what he means. But apparently Chris Brown, even though he is a R&B guy, apparently he is actually like very heavily gang affiliated and has actually done some wild shit from what the internet has told me, and we all know
he's beating women, so he's probably pretty wild.
I'm just saying, but which he actually calls Quavo out for that in the diss track. He's like, you talking about beating women? He's like, we've all seen the elevator video. I was like, oh shit.
All right.
No, yes, there's a whole bunch of wildness going on. So if people watching want a good laugh, go. You haven't heard the Chris Brown Weakest Link track. It's actually a pretty good diss track. It's pretty solid.
Check it out.
Shockingly. Like you wouldn't expect it from Chris Breezy.
Well, boys, we fucking flew through 2 hours, 2:11, just like nothing.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna go home and eat some food.
Same.
Yeah. I got a lot of inner. Sometimes I'll be like just cracking myself up all by myself. Be like,
Dude, I'm funny as shit. I don't know if people know that, but like I make myself laugh hard as hell.
Fucking be on some shit.
I can imagine not having an inner monologue.
Oh man, it'd be fucking sad. I don't know, man. Maybe some people realize how dumb they are, and so they don't even talk to themselves inside their head.
What, bro? I love Jelly Roll. Tell Morgan to keep the chairs on the patio. Keep the chairs on the patio. Keep that man away from the liquor.
Right?
Y'all heard about that?
No.
He threw chairs off like a third-story balcony.
Yeah.
And like almost hit some.
You can't do that anymore if you're a rock star, apparently. Okay, not allowed to do that.
And Posty. Well, I'm about to go hang out with Jerry for the weekend.
For real? Where's that at?
Yeah. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, Bobby's like, bro, you ain't that far from me. Where we going?
Invite, man.
Yeah, Bobby wants to go to Post Malone. I built your box. I built your box.
I'm trying to show him, bro. It's my speaker box.
Like, I've never even seen that truck in person.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
No, they like hauled that thing away to go put a better 6x6 system on it that'll have fucking a front. From what I was told, it'll have like the front steering assembly, independent suspension of a Raptor everywhere. So it'll have 6-wheel steering and fully independent suspension somehow. But I don't know exactly how that's going to work. They're going to have to make some creative transfer case, axle, transaxle, fucking shit or something. I don't know. But yeah.
Stagecoach. Yes.
Well, yeah. Sick.
All
right.
Tony said, how are the Surge amps? I think they're SNI. They're last generation SNI stuff. I mean, they're fine. Same as most other stuff. Like Wolfram and whatnot.
Yeah. All right, kids. Fix your fucking engine noise. Be nice to people. Send me pictures of your kitty cats. It's a thing, I guess.
Well, I guess I'll take a pic.
Don't send me any vagina pictures. I'm good.
I'm about to send you a picture of something. Prepare yourself.
Yeah. Send me pictures of your wieners. That's fine.
Wiener pics incoming.
Right, here it comes.
Actually, don't do that at all.
Okay, bye.